Interest rates are going to eat your cash flow, eat your profits. We've been talking about this. If you've been following Wolf's Watch for any length of time, and by the way, this is Wolf's Watch. I'm Wolf. Thanks for being part of the conversation. We're watching, interact in the comments here. This is 21st Century Television, live and interactive. This is two-way. That being said, we've been talking about interest rates for months, and we are at a point now where if you are still as a business owner, I'm talking to you, business owner, right? Now, even if you're not a business owner, if you have a mortgage with a variable rate, if you're carrying lots of credit card debt, look, you have got to do something about that, especially as a business owner. If you are using variable rate financing in your business, stop it right now. Interest rates have more than doubled. Mortgage rates are almost doubled right now. It was about 3.2% at the beginning of the year. Right now, it is about 6 and an 8%. So that's 6.125%. Check me if I'm wrong. If you're good at math, I don't have my calculator going. So let me know about it in the comments. The point is, interest rates are going up, and they're going to continue to go up. The Federal Reserve Chair Powell announced that in an interview that there's going to be two ways that inflation decreases this year: with luck or with pain. Now, let me ask you, which do you think is most likely? Seems most likely it's going to be pain. Part of that pain is the Federal Reserve is going to continue to raise interest rates. We already know they're going to raise interest rates again in July. They took the surprise step of increasing interest rates 0.75% at their last meeting. It was expected to be 0.5%. That doesn't sound like a whole lot, but that affects all of the financial markets. That affects the interest rates that you're paying on your business loans, on your consumer loans. That's why mortgage rates are going up. They're going to continue to go up. Inflation is not going to start going down. There's just no economic driver for inflation to decrease without pushing the economy into a recession. Are you, as a business owner, ready for that? I mentioned in a couple 2 weeks ago, mentioned there's 5 things that you need to do to make sure in high inflation and recession that you are part of the small percentage of businesses that thrive while the rest struggle or fail completely. Here's one of those. And I got thank you for all of you who asked, okay, great. What are the 5? Here's the first one. You have got to get your company on a strong financial footing and yourself personally. Now, you are likely saying, well, I already have, right? That footing shifts in the environment that we're in right now. Excuse me. What you need to do is make sure you got cash and get as much cash as you can, because you're going to need it to sustain your business. You're also going to need it for the opportunities that are coming up. And there are amazing opportunities that are coming up the next couple of years, if for no other reason than because there's a lot of economic chaos. It's happened the last couple of years. This is going to continue for another 2 to 3 years. The point being, get your cash get your cash under control, manage it with an iron fist. That includes doing something about the debt that you carry. If you have variable rate debt in your business, you are at risk because we do not know how high the interest rates are going to go, other than that they're going up. It could more than double again. If it takes normally to get inflation under control, and this is 11 of the last 12 inflationary times that the Fed raised interest rates to get inflation under control, resulted in a recession. The former Treasury Secretary under President Obama has repeatedly said it is going to take making interest rates higher than the inflation rate. Well, the inflation rate's already 8.5%, 8.6%, and climbing. So think about that. You're looking at interest rates 9, 10, 12%. We saw that in the 70s, in the early 80s. There's a lot of people out there, you may be one of them, that didn't live through that. I'm one of the ones that did. And let me tell you something. Imagine if you own a house, right? You're a business owner, you own a house. Imagine having a 20% interest rate on your mortgage or 18% interest rate on your mortgage. Yeah, that actually happened. Look it up. Don't just listen to me. Look it up. Late 70s, early 80s. So insane interest rates. I am not predicting things are going to go that way. What I am saying is you are a fool if you do not plan for that type of a scenario at this point in time. With the economy moving in the direction that it is, at the pace that it is, it's getting worse faster. Home prices across the board, across the nation, have in the last year have gone up over 20%. Right? You know, every time you go to the gas pump, what's happening with gasoline prices. California, it's common to see gas prices, gas stations charging well over $7 a gallon. Where you're at may not be as bad, but the thing is, the rise has been, hasn't it? When you're shopping for groceries, right? So inflation is not slowing down so far. Now, there are predictions by some people that are making media tours, doing interviews, they're going, oh, you know what? It's going to be down 2%, 2.3%, by 2023. Based on what? There's no factual basis in economics behind that. There's too much money because we had $6 trillion pumped into the economy there for the COVID recovery. I'm not questioning that being done. It's a fact. There was that much money put in the economy. Now we've got an issue of too much money chasing too few resources. Supply chain disruptions are continuing. That was something that Fed Chair Powell had commented. He goes, look, one of the things that needs to happen in order for inflation to start to go down without pain is for the supply chain to stop hiccuping. Okay, so now what facts do we have that'll show us that from now through the rest of the year, we're not going to have more supply chain shortages? None, because we currently are having it, and we're hearing from international sources where a lot of those materials in the supply chain come from are already posting problems, which means another 30, 60, 90 days out, there's going to be more gaps in different areas. So supply chain problems are going to continue. It's a topic for a different episode. Kind of a spoiler on what some of those 5 are that you've been wanting to hear about. So here's the thing, though. Debt, interest rates are a big part of that. You got to do something about that, or otherwise you're going to get caught without cash. And you know what? Hey, maybe you'd like to be the next General Motors, right? Remember during the 2008, 2009 global financial crisis, General Motors bankrupted itself on a cash flow of $130 billion in revenue because it couldn't service its debt. The debt took over. That's the risk you've got. What happens if your bank or one of your other lending sources calls your loan? I've worked with a client that did that. They had their because of other things that are going on in the business, their financial ratios changed, violated the covenants in their loan agreement. And guess what? Bank called them and said, boom, everything you've got, your loan, we're calling your loan. We're stopping your revolving credit, which is what they use to fund day-to-day operations, all their working capital. Said you've got 30 days to find other sources for all this and pay off everything you owe us. What would you do in that scenario? So clock's ticking, and that window is window's closing. It's going to close somewhere between now and the end of the year, most likely sooner rather than later. Russia defaulted on its sovereign debt today. They had major payments that they were scheduled to make. They did not make them. Now, there's a whole political argument that goes with that, and there's international argument where international community, the people that were supposed to get the payments, are saying you defaulted on your loans, you didn't pay us. Russia is saying, yeah, you know what? There's sanctions against us that are blocking the payments. Either way, doesn't matter what the answer to that is. The scenario that counts, that's going to impact you, is they did make the payment today, and financial markets are starting to react to that. What's going to happen? Money's going to get more expensive because perceived risk just went through the roof. A major nation did not make a payment on sovereign debt. Not a good thing. No bueno. That is going to make it harder to get credit. That's all part and parcel of this too. The credit markets are tightening up. That's going to tighten it up more and make it happen faster. You need to move now. This week, you need to be talking to your financial experts that you work with and making decisions on what is going to be the right financial setup for your company to secure your company financially to weather the storm of the next 2 to 3 years, or it could be longer. Let's talk 2 to 3 years. Okay, be ready for that. Strategic use of fixed rate debt is not unwise. Talk to your financial professional again and look at, how does that comes back to you. You really need to be into your balance sheet not your income statement. You know, you can't stop paying attention to that. You really need to be into your balance sheet and understanding the numbers there and how that's working, what's affecting what, because that's where you can get hit with problems on your loans, on your debts, right? You've got covenants in your loans that are tied to your financial ratios. You better have some scenarios worked out to understand where you are at risk. And you need to, this week, you need to make decisions on what has to be changed and start putting that in motion, because 2 months from now, there may not be credit available to change it. You may be locked into whatever's going to happen. What happens if interest, if the prime rate goes up to 10%, which means the best business rate you could get would be more like 15. Regardless of, without all the technicalities on how it happens, what will it do to your business if interest rates go up triple what they are now? Whatever you're paying in interest, what happens if it doubles or triples? That's the scenario we're looking at right now as being a distinct possibility. If you don't plan for that, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to be one of the businesses that gets blindsided and that may be calling us up for a turnaround, or working with us, some of our business partners that like to buy troubled businesses. But guess what? You're not going to get good terms on that. If you run it into the ground, you're not going to get good terms. Do something about it now. You want to talk more about what can be done now? You know how to get in touch with me. Gloves are off. You got to stop screwing around and start taking action and be prepared on this. So that's the first of the 5, is get your financial house in order in light of the current rules. And the current rules are cash is king. Debt is bad because interest rates are going crazy. They're going up. We just don't know how far. We know they're going to go up fast, though. Fed's already told us that. Get another major rate hike coming up in July. And you need to make strategic use of debt. Be prepared. That's 3. There's more. That's the top 3 for now. Get cracking. Thanks for being part of the conversation. I'm Wolf. This is Wolf's Watch. And I will see. Before I go, thanks for staying to the end. Look, tomorrow I'm going to be interviewing the former CEO of Oakley. The glasses, folks. I've been one of the best pairs of glasses I ever had for prescription glasses was in Oakley frames. Finally wore them out after years of having them. I mean, like broke them to the point they couldn't be fixed. Anyway, going to be interviewing the former CEO of Oakley, talking about leadership, talking about what he's doing now with Infinite Hero Foundation. So the theme is about serving veterans. Hey, thanks for joining us, Darshan. Hello, sir. Right back at you. How are you, my friend? Thank you for being part of the conversation. But he is the president of the board of directors for Infinite Hero Foundation. We're also going to have the executive director, which is in the not-for-profit world. She's the equivalent of the CEO, really, for Infinite Hero Foundation, Courtney Janes. She has a lot of experience in the not-for-profit world. These are 2 very seasoned leaders that have been through a lot of ups and downs. They're going to share their leadership insights and also talk about what Infinite Hero is doing to help veterans. They have done some unbelievable work with helping veterans get access to services that they need, specifically, our warfighters and their families that are recovering from the tragedy of warfare, or what happens. They're injured. Be there. It'll be on the 28th of June. This is the next episode. If you're watching this on replay, it's the next episode. So it'll be on 28th of June at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. Be part of the conversation. Bring your friends. This is going to be incredible. Plus, we're going to be talking about some of the events that they have coming that you can be part of and that you'll want to be part of. So I will see you there. Thanks again for being part of the conversation. I'm Wolf. This is Wolf Watch. I look forward to seeing you on the trail.